good work, to love the people of this world. That's how it was with me. As I write this, I'm aware that you may already know about me, or you may not. If you heard my name, it might be in relation to the 1990s British Christian dance band Worldwide Message Tribe, later named The Tribe. The band had some success in the UK and America, or you may have heard about me as the founder of the Message Trust, a mission organisation based in Manchester, England. But what's perhaps most significant about me is that I had my own "Whom shall I send?" invitation from God, and I answered it. It resulted in the formation of a ministry that's been working for 30 years to improve the lives of young people in the UK and beyond through our work in schools, prisons, and tough communities. My "Whom shall I send?" moment came in 1987, when my brother Simon and I received a vision to hold the biggest youth mission that Manchester had ever seen. Our dream was to book the city's biggest rock venue, the Apollo, for a week and fill it with the best Christian bands, theatre companies and evangelists we could get our hands on. We wanted to partner with local churches on hundreds of local missions, with a special focus on the hardest to reach. It was ambitious, naive and likely to fail, but it was our attempt to answer the calling of God. If you don't live in the United Kingdom, you may not be aware of the spiritual condition here. In 1955, over 50% of British citizens went to church, and roughly the same percentage of church attenders were in their 20s. By 2005, that number had gone down to well under 10% of the whole population, with just 3% of British church attendees being in their 20s. In 2014, the former Archbishop of Canterbury, Rowan Williams, declared England a post-Christian nation. When Simon and I were attempting to put this massive event together, we often returned home at the end of the day feeling defeated and discouraged. How were two guys in their mid-20s with no connections and not a lot of money going to pull this vision off? We must have heard it wrong from God. But then, as has happened many times in my life, Isaiah came to the rescue. Sitting in my room alone in my bed, I despondently picked up my Bible to do the set reading for the day. My prayer was simple. God, if this vision is from you, please speak to me from your word. Here's what I was reading that day. Forget the former things. Do not dwell on the past. See, I'm doing a new thing. Now it springs up, do you not perceive it? I'm making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland. The wild animals honour me, the jackals and the owls, because I provide water in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland, to give drink to my people, my chosen, the people I formed for myself, that they may proclaim my praise. Isaiah 43, 18 to 21. The words landed joyfully in my heart. I knew God was speaking directly to us. I phoned Simon straight away and told him, God is going to do this. We put those verses at the bottom of our first letterhead, and we used them when we wrote to every church in Manchester. God was doing a new thing then. The Manchester outreach, called Message 88, attracted around 20,000 young people. They heard live performances by bands and a bold presentation of the gospel message. The next year we did it all again. Out of Message 89, Simon and I were approached by a band member and challenged to form an organisation that would go into Manchester schools with hip-hop and dance music and the gospel. The message arose out of those efforts, and now 30 years on, we have active urban ministries throughout England and in Scotland, Wales, Canada and South Africa, and we have contact with hundreds of thousands of young people every year. God continues his work, and that same passage from Isaiah is the first thing you see hanging from the walls when you enter our headquarters. God's gifts and calling are irrevocable. The things he wanted his people to do then are the same things he wants his people to do now. Isaiah called God's people to justice, mercy, and release of the oppressed, and these are the very things Jesus calls Christians to today. Keep that in mind, my friend. Whatever God is calling you to do will be found within that same mission. At The Message, our focus is on extending God's invitation for salvation and rescue to the toughest, most financially deprived neighbourhoods of cities across the UK and the world. God might be calling you to join us, or he might have another area of mission in which you should operate. A new thing, people. Let's take a closer look at this passage, as it shaped what The Message has become. The passage describes what I believe God wants for every church, ministry or person who wants to change the world. First, you and I need to be "See, I'm doing a new thing" people. See verse 19. God is always creative, and he's always got new things for his people to do to bless the world. It's called being pioneering and apostolic. When you are this way, you open up new good spaces for others to enter into as well. Second, you and I need to embrace that we are "do you not perceive it" people. See verse 19 again. No matter how